Journal entry, 15th of the month of May, in the year of our Lord 1097. A small mistake was all it took. Peronella, fearless as she is, went to Milot Castle to inspect the repairs, where she must have come into contact with the plague that has been spreading along the coast. Maybe a craftsman, or a day labourer who had come north from Béziers. Either way, she was the first one afflicted by what we came to call Satan's fire. The illness rapidly caused her to burn up, and she would shake violently and uncontrollably in her sickbed. Alas, I am to blame, as I had deemed us safe, pious as we are, from this unholy affliction, and not forced my court into seclusion, but decided to stay with the people of my lands. Woe is me, as this has cost the lives of Sophie, who did her utmost to care for my wife and eldest son, rapidly followed by Richard the Brave, who had locked himself into his room after the death of his wife. Adela, my seneschal, passed away quickly after becoming afflicted, and as I write these words with a heavy heart, Raoulf and Antoine are yet to recover through our prayers. We are blessed to have Lady de Blanchegarde agreeing to join our court, and her cures have so far prevented the worst. The Lord is testing my resolve, it seems. I shall pray every night that this cup may pass as yet. Renaissance de Blanchegarde, my personal physician, has gotten married. It is more of a political marriage. So here she has joined the House Blanchegarde with the House of Schwerin, with her husband Albrand von Schwerin. And with that, we have, I think, a new seneschal. So we shall get him employed. And we are going to get him to work on growing control. This is an important factor, and then we will see how this plague develops further, because it seems to be retreating along the coastline. But and we have a few more legend promoters in the area. It seems to be spreading along the coastline, but at least the news from Burgundy have hinted toward it easing up. So if this is divine punishment, then prayer and time will heal it. Of course, my main concern is with my sons. Raoulf and Antoine are still afflicted by the holy fire, but they're still young, so hopefully the Lord can look kindly upon them. The other thing that I was considering, given the recent events and the plague that is to a degree still ravaging through, let's see, we can't quite nail it down if we're putting it to not healthy. But it looks like, who was it? Alessandra? I think she was afflicted. Let's see. So it's not just, Zizek is anyways just old and frail, so it's Unigild. So is Cecily. So the only one really afflicted is Lydia. Let's have a quick look if Alessandra the Beautiful, I think she was called, has recovered, because I'm not always being the Fair. Okay, Alessandra the Fair has recovered, and their marriage has not been blessed with children, unfortunately, but. All in all, the number is decreasing, and we've just got Ralph and Antoine to worry about. But yeah, I was considering to construct a burial site, simply from out of respect for the dead, especially my very old friends Sophie and Richard the Brave. It is going to put a serious dent in our coffers. And we may have to find some measures sooner rather than later. But this would also reduce or increase the overall resistance to the plague, and as well as help spreading the legend. So we will construct the burial site, and then from there on. And yes, we do not wish to have a claim on the kingdom of Burgundy. That is, I see that the Pope is not in favor of the Queen, on account of her being maliciously female, as well as of a somewhat sadistic, villainous nature. But we have no interest in conquest in any form, so we shall remain for now secluded until the pestilence has left our lands. And Raoulf has recovered, and with that it is just the little Antoine who is still afflicted by it, but hopefully under the careful guidance of my personal physician he will get better as well. Alekin greets me at court this morning, eager with news on the tip of her tongue. My Duke, I believe that your court vassal Aymeric is almost convinced of the veracity of the Knight of the Swan. He is aware of the tale and seems entirely enraptured by it, but is unconvinced of the truth behind it. Maybe we can convince him. Previously we had tried to threaten him, so I'm taking this as a result of these thinly veiled threats, so maybe he can be persuaded to start promoting. He is convinced, and we have another legend promoter. With that, we have the overall spread of the legend starting to pick up. Really, it's made its way over into Fontenay, and we are at 34 baronies. We do need 100. In order to increase the legend, but for now, and the upgrade obviously will cost us coin once more. But for now, we will see if we can manage to spread it further and more rapidly. It is also spreading through the Iberian lands now, so I will keep working on trying to convince the local rulers to spread it for us. And Antoine has lost the holy fire as well, Satan's fire, the unholy fire, really it is. And that, I think, in my court just leaves actually nobody. I think my court has recovered from the outbreak of the plague. However, we're not going to emerge from seclusion until Satan's fire has retreated from the coast, and we have the news that the plague is no longer afflicting these lands. And with news from Béziers, the countess has died, and with her the last afflicted that was known in the lands. And the plague has been declared officially over, which means we can now emerge from seclusion. And the sun feels unfamiliar and hostile on my skin. The wind feels cold and violating. When was the last time I took a breath of air as God made it? I am glad to be back. So we are out of seclusion, and with that we can get back to normal business, hopefully. And that business involves finding new ways of making money. Okay, a perk in the wandering lifestyle, now that I'm out and about in my duchy again, is available. And I think I am going to go first for the inspector, because there are some activities here, plus it'll increase the domain taxes. So we'll start out with mustering. And if we were to travel through my domain, well, we can't just travel without a reason, but we could pay for a funeral, which would be costly, but it would also gain us legitimacy, which is something that we are sorely lacking at this point as well. However, right now the coin for that is not available, and we're already building the great burial site on the places where Sophie and Richard are laid to rest, which is at the church in Pamiers, where the bishop at the center of the bishopric. My daughter Faidida has grown rather large, rather worryingly quickly, and is showing some features that are very unlike my own. Now, I would never go as far as accuse my spouse, my Duchess Peronella, of infidelity. However, this is something that may need at some point to be investigated. That said, I think there's still a murder plot out against Sicily, which we may have to do something about at some point. But for now, it's been ongoing, and the rumors are relatively few and far between. So I think I can get my spy master to once again go and see if he can find some secrets in Count Emeric's court, and see what he can dig up there in general. Our direct vassal opinion should be increasing slightly. Obviously, they would like to have a seat on the court. The problem is that Count Emeric himself is an idiot, and the Mayor Savarix of Marvejois does a decent job of managing his city, but all in all is not a particularly while an honorable man, not a particularly qualified one for anything. So no, they are not going to be on my council, and they will have to deal with that situation. Thomasina of the House Doria, a young lady a young noblewoman that has been visiting our court for a while, has won the heart of Volkhard von Nassau of the House of Nassau, my tutor, given that he is pretty good looking. So I shall tolerate this marriage, or support this marriage with all my heart, and wish them luck and many children. We can ask potentially the head of faith for gold. One of the things that we can do once we run out of money would be to ask the Pope for additional funds. Given that we have fulfilled the Lord's will and the instructions of the papacy, I don't see anything wrong with that. This would potentially allow us to finance additional expenses, like we could, for example, increase the. Let's see, that's expensive. That is equally expensive. Even 100 coin would not pay for the necessary tasks of increasing the holdings or improving the holdings that we have. We do have to get to a point where we are getting additional income every month, and find ways to make coin. Really, I have once again communed with the Lord in trying to understand this recent affliction that has been brought upon us. And as I get on in age, and I feel that many burdens are on my shoulder, this is always a welcome guidance. I think we have Farah, my marshal, almost being done with his task to increase the control in Rouergue, and it seems that Alderic has learned the High German language, which is great. And so has Raoulf, his brother. And so has Ogier at the court that he currently is. So can we give them additional languages? Italian, that might be a good language to learn. So Filomena, she might be able to teach them. And we'll do the same with the others. Go ahead and study. I think Antoine is still too young. He's already studying, but Elodie and Faidida are still too young. All right, so we'll do that. And once the control has been restored in Rouergue, are we looking in general on control? We're getting there. Toulouse itself, Milot probably will need some help, because it reduces the amount of taxes that we are taking. So As much as I would like him to train my commanders and to improve my knights, currently improving the control is more important. And we could do Toulouse. Yeah, Toulouse is going to be relatively quickly. We're already at 93, so let's get Toulouse completed, and then we will send him over into Milo. Volkart is doing a great job of educating the children, by the way. So that is much appreciated. And the legend of the Knight of the Swan is spreading further. We're at 47 baronies already, and it is starting to make its way north and east. And Farah is completed increasing the control in Toulouse, in the barony of Toulouse. So we are at 100 control everywhere except in Milo. So that will be his next task. And then we should have things. He said it's probably going to take about 8 months to complete that, and then we will be finished there as well. This has increased our tax income, but it is still nowhere near where we need it to be. However, our dwindling coffers can still maintain this for just a little bit longer. And we can also, once Emo is done with improving the development of Toulouse, then we can potentially get him to assist with collecting taxes, which is going to net us an additional 10% of tax income. So that should help as well. It looks like the Queen of Burgundy has taken a major loss, and the ever greedy Emperor Eudes is further expanding his lands of his Empire of Francia. Unfortunately, we have gotten news from Thierry that he has not been able to find any secret at Count Emeric's court. He still believes, though, that there's something going on in the shadows. Okay, so if there's anything, keep looking and see if you can find it. And the mystical High Chiefdom of Prussia. What does that have to do with me, really? Given courteous greetings by my courtier Alekin, who seems to be abuzz with excitement. Alekin has been really busy working on, she's Emo's wife, working on improving my legend. She tells me of a mystical land known simply as High Chiefdom of Prussia, and she unfurls a map to this wonderful land in front of me. She tells me that the rivers run with milk and honey, and even the peasantry are fat with abundance of the land. Though usually I would never, this is not the Prussia that I have heard of, but okay, usually I would never venture so far. Tales of my heroic journey would certainly have an effect on the Knight of the Swan. We actually probably have been there at some point, or at least nearby. We definitely must go there and see if we can add this to the legends. And we will leave things at home in the qualified hands of my court. The route has been planned by Raoulf, my caravan master, and we shall start. It costs us relatively little gold, and with that, my wife, Duchess Peronella of Toulouse, will be the regent in my absence. All packed and proper, we have finally come to the point where we can start our journey from Toulouse to our next destination at Warmia. As we depart from the holding and our mounts start treading new ground, I'm certain we will return soon and in one piece. So with that, we have begun our journey through the lands, and once more wander the lands of Europe in this bright summertime. As a vassal often clamors to gain the attention of their liege, but for once that particular table has been turned. Emeric would be such a boon to have as an advance for the Knight of the Swan. I thought he was already doing that. I must make every effort to get him on side. I must think carefully about what would be best to catch his eye. Perhaps a promise of investment in his holdings. Maybe a simple promise of a favor. I will definitely not give him my battle axe. We will definitely not do that. I will not pay 20 gold to him, and we will see. We could simply ask him to do it. We could we'll go for a diplomacy and intrigue challenge and see if he gains a favor on me. No, I honestly thought he was already promoting that, but no, he should follow my lead regardless. If he does promote it, good. If he doesn't, then he shall do what as he pleases, because there's still an open question about the county of Gévaudan, which technically belongs to the Duchy of Toulouse, but is currently held by my vassal. So this is something that we will need to sort at some problem. We have once again made our way into the Holy Roman Empire, a place we had visited many times in the past, and where we had doings and dealings with the locals. Journeying through Hagenau, I pass by a peculiar-looking tent, splayed open, with its yet more peculiar-looking occupant inside. Come in, O mighty Duke. I can tell you have many miles to go, and I can offer you a reading of your future troubles for a modest price. No, we are not. We're not interested in that. I am a wise man myself, and I can spot a thief and a scoundrel when I see one. The latest work of my acquaintance, Count Eckbert, has become all the rage at court of late. Count Eckbert of Halberstadt. The piece deals with memory and what we leave behind, and Eckbert has publicly dedicated it to me. A lament for the Duke. Men need not fear as lives depart, provided they leave behind them art, and hope only for memory's grace, so that the whole world remembers their face. So far, I've kept my thought to myself, but the buzz has grown too dramatic to ignore for much longer. So, I think, we're not going to, with a 99% chance. I think we'll keep this to ourselves, and just get some opinion from the local count about his attempts at writing poetry to the regards of my fame. Somebody's been stealing from me. I shall not be, however, killing him for it. You return my coin, and we will leave it at that. And we shall not be inviting any villains to our court, no matter how good of a pickpocketer we are. We could use the coin, but I shall not be murdering people over it. So we will be doing that. How is Peronella doing so far? I think she is selfless, so her overall aptitude is more than enough to run the court in my stead. Meanwhile, Alderic comes of age. My tuition of Alderic is at an end. Always the curious and knowledge-hungry child, Alderic has shown an affinity for scholarship from an early age. An avid learner, he's become quite the purveyor of knowledge and has proven himself fully capable of structuring advanced theoretical and theological arguments. So he gains astute intellectual and the open terrain expert. So with that, my eldest son is now a knight in my employ, and he is definitely a smart one. I could try to spar with him, but we are not. We are still far in between each other. We have received a missive from Pope Sergius of the papacy, who has studied the French common language, and he wishes for future diplomatic dealings to benefit us greatly. So we can we shall definitely send our regards and become friends with the Holy Father. We have been working together closely, and he has been instrumental in establishing the independent Duchy of Toulouse, while the emperor has been expanding the country. Farad Brave finished control in Milot, so with that, I think we'll deal with that in a second. Let's see first what's going on. Where we are? Where are we? We have entered the country of Poland. Ever since entering Zielona Góra, I've been treated much like an animal in a spectacular garden. The people stare in amazement at the mere way I speak and carry myself. As we make our way through, I'm suddenly approached by a peculiar and enthusiastic woman who, unlike the rest of the crowd, seems to speak Doc Vulgar. My word, so it's true, an Occitan duke here of all places. I've long admired Occitan customs, and I've even learned Doc Vulgar in my own time. What an honor it is. So we could actually Casimira Sulima. We could get her to teach us her language, and why not teach me about your people. So we will see how that ends up, and that will add yet another language to our repertoire. We have men-at-arms maintenance improvement. Oh, so Peronella has done great. For 10 years, we have my regent has furthered her mandate and has starting to tip the scales of power in her favor. But she has also gotten us 25% of men-at-arms for maintenance for 10 years, which has significantly reduced the cost, which is excellent news. And all in all, very much welcome. However, I do miss her dearly and my family, so we shall return as soon as we can. Winter has fallen as we make our way towards the High Chiefdom of Prussia, which is part of the legend. I am told that nature is venerated here in Morin as an extension of the will of the gods. We watch as the locals adorn an old tree with fine materials and jewelry, as if they were courting it. Many in my entourage are satisfied to watch from a distance, but I feel compelled to do something more. We're not burning the tree down. We should join in the celebration. These are not Christians, but at the same time, it is up to us to learn new things as we travel. At last I have arrived in distant Warmia, and I couldn't be more disappointed. I was promised a towering metropolis, but all I see here are a few tents and huts. I make my way to what I assume is the home of a noble family, and I'm greeted by a strange nobleman. My noble bearing clearly precedes me, as he seems immediately eager to know who I am and what brings me here. So we have three options. We can challenge him to a duel, which should not be a problem, but that would only increase the discount towards upgrading the legend, which is currently not overly expensive. I mean, it is still expensive, but it's not overly expensive. We could tell him about the Knight of the Swan legend, but it doesn't seem to have any particularly great outcomes. Or we could see if he has anything to present to me. So with that, we would get 15% taxes for 15 years, and we would get a legend spread chance. And I think that is definitely an outcome that I think we can take on. And then we will be returning. I have seen the world and beheld its many wonders in my travels, but never have I beheld such beauties as the one I've seen in Stutwo. Truly, Prussian women are cut above all the rest. Especially not that I see where this is going. I will definitely not been taking on anybody. Thank you very much. I am happily married, and I trust in Peronella. I pause and write and pause and write. The words for this missive must be chosen carefully. Any loose phrases for my message to my vassal, Savarix, will not be looked kindly upon, but the support of Knight of the Swan would be a boon indeed to get. Oh, this is the mayor of Malvaujois. Now let's see, what exactly is something Savarix would approve of? We could do a diplomacy challenge, which seems to be a coin toss. A diplomacy challenge, or nothing. Well, it's all diplomacy challenges. Okay. So let's see. He is an honorable empath, so we're definitely not a tale of revenge. He's not a driven person at all. I think we'll just be truthful, and we will see what comes out of it. He is pleased, and with that, we have yet another legend promoter joining. As the new year has broken, we are making our way through northern Pomerania in the winter to visit the capital, and then we shall be on our way back. As we entered Camiens, I noticed a jolly attitude and festive-looking decorations around the city. Before we know it, my whole entourage gets caught up in the festivities ourselves. This is such a friendly place, don't you think? Algebeta asked me, as the two of us danced together among the crowd. Who is that now? Bernat. Let's see. I hear a loud cheer from everyone around us as the musicians finish one song and another begins. So we could improve the cultural acceptance between Occitans and Pomeranians, or we could lose stress. Yeah, we don't have any stress to lose, so we'll go with that. And we'll make Toulouse a better place. While performing his duties as my spymaster, Thierry has uncovered a secret held by my vassal, Count Emeric. He seems to be harboring doubts about Catholic doctrine. What would the clergy say? Oh dear. He has he believes in a false god. He is a Satan worshipper. That's what he is. So we shall see what we can do with that particular piece of information. Tadeusz, the local captain, and a few of his officers greet me as my entourage enter the military camp at Szczecin. As he wanders off, I quickly dismount and follow him through the latest siege equipment. I nod, appreciating the organized chaos I'm observing. Now, what would my lord want to do next? We could do some sparring for extra martial, which I think is the highest outcome. Yeah, let's do some sparring, and we will see 150 prestige as well as 1 extra martial, and we have gained some by visiting the kingdom as well. So we'll be on our march back. It is the month of February by now, so it will overall have probably taken about a year, and we'll see if we can make our way back. As I pass through the barony of Stendal, a jubilant local approaches my entourage. His smile stretches from ear to ear. I discern that he is offering a warm welcome, but the finer aspects of his speech are sadly lost to me. So we can make some progress or we can bring him along. I don't think I want another treacherous villain on my group, but we could get a 80% chance. Let's see if we can. Yes, we have an engaging debate, and with that we have improved things a bit. The echoing call of horns fills the air as we traverse the hills near Blankenburg. The hill forts resonate with the sound, a call to arms that has sounded through generations. Mere seconds after the first blaring, a throng of garrisoned Saxon warriors emerged from the closest fortification, charging a group of terrified highwaymen and bandits. We could... we're definitely not... we're definitely not... Wait and pick the bodies clean. Who are we? And I'm not sending Thierry out by himself. We will help in the charge, and... I will do a challenge against Vlenching of Rostock, who is apparently the leader of the bandits. So I have slain the bandit leader with my own hands. And Peronella has once again improved our men of arms maintenance and military upkeep. She is doing an exceptional job at home, I must say, and I really do appreciate that. Now we still have some more ways to go. It is slowly starting to become spring in the Holy Roman Empire. The snow has melted, and the sun is warming us as we return home after a long, long journey abroad.